Shorty.
Hi, Shorty.
Fingers crossed, StreamYard's being a little bitch tonight, apparently. Very frustrating when we're professionals here. Fucking professional.
She's a fucking professional. No goddamn it.
Miss Shorty, you're muted. Miss Shorty, you're muted.
God, yes.
Endearing, it's iconic. Cheese breaks, fake breaks, staying hydrated. It's Shorty time. She's a fucking delight. Trial watching, trials and tribulations. It's Camp Shorty calling all nations. What are you drinking? Shall we skip this part? Left or right-handed? Shit, she slid it to the start. She's a fucking professional. Yo, goddammit. You're muted, what? Endearing, it's iconic. Cheese breaks, fake breaks, staying hydrated. It's Shorty time. She's a fucking delight. Psychology corner. Let's learn about stuff. New Miss Shorty music. Calling their bluff. Best chat, best community. We've got the best minds. A safe, supportive sanctuary full of fun and love. Rock out with your cats down. Curse all you want. And here at Camp Shorty, we even say God. She's a fucking professional. Yo, goddammit. You're muted, what? Endearing, it's iconic. Cheese breaks, fake breaks, staying hydrated. It's Shorty time. She's a fucking delight. Hey, Shorties, what's doing, y'all? Get in here, Shorties. Let's fucking go. Camp Shorty. Camp Shorty. Camp Shorty.
Hi! I forgot to put myself on the stage. Hi, shorties. It's like, hi, good to see you.
Hi, Shorties. It cracks me up every time. Oh, hi. Happy Saturday for y'all in the States. Happy Sunday, Aussies. Early. Hey, babies. You know the drill. Pigs in for Buster. Or the big one for the big boy. And a little ladies one for the lady. How are you? It's very good to see you. Oh, there's a fly. I just sprayed fly spray. Yeah, that's going to kill me. Oh, Lainey says, you look fabulous. Thanks. I've got my cute. Wait. I've got my Miss Shorty. Hang on. I love this one. You've seen it in the intro, but my Miss Shorty 69 jacket on. But I needed a little bit of a perk today. I was like, "Whoa." So I've also got my Miss Shorty tights on. They're so cool. I'm like hella matching. Hi, it's me. I'm autistic. Love 1010. Yes, we have tights. I'm looking as pinup girl. I'm part of what is it in Greece? Pinkies? Ready for our interview with Detective Joe Donna from the Maxwell Anderson trial. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I did my brows especially, well, my brows take me a long time. I did my brows especially lovely because that's a standard I have to live up to. Joe's brows are on point. Love 1010. This fly is going to kill me. I did just play fright. Go away. How? Why? It's winter. Getting a Lainey again says I'm going to get a whole shorty outfit, leggings and tank. Yes, I could have worn the matching tank as well, but that would have been overkill. Let's be serious. I've got another Miss Shorty 69 jacket coming. It's white with this trim. Oh, sorry about the crunching. Hi, Simmy. Yes, so stoked. Hi, Princey. Saying hi to Motion. Hi, Ms. What the fuck? We're getting ahead of ourselves. Me. Hi, it's me. Hi, Salty. Good to see you. Oh, the fly. I'll spray some fly spray in a second again. Then I'll start coughing and why are there flies inside in winter? Oh, yeah. Hi, Nick. Nick says, if you're new to Adelson, strap yourselves in. Correct. In Jennifer Cabe's voice. I've been brushing up. Let me just clean my glasses a little bit more. I did just clean them, but I've been brushing up on my details. That's better. Ta-da! I can see. Because details matter, right? Hi, Candy. Good to see you. I see Rach is there. Here. Hi. Ruthie. Hello, friend. I see you, Ruthie. Have your 12-month membership badge. You are a proper OG. Thank you so much for your ongoing support, my friend. This fly, yikes. Ruthie and I have known each other since, YouTube known each other since the 18 months, almost 2 years, thanks to the Adelson case. Who would have thought? Donna, Charlie, Wendy, and Harvey Adelson bringing people together. Akash is here. Oh my goodness, the fly. I'm going to cry. Ruthie, that was fast. God, that fly, yikes. Ruthie says, Lisa, I got my shirt in the mail today. Thank you. You're welcome. Congratulations on your merch draw win. Speaking of merch, again, after our chat with Detective Donna, Joe, we're friends. It's at the moment scheduled for 9 Eastern, but I don't think we'll be taking up 2 hours of Detective Donna's time. I'd say more like an hour. So directly after that interview, so our second stream, the third stream is a members only stream. We're having a quiz night. Ms. What the fuck and I have put together a bunch of questions, multiple choice, true, false, regarding questions about things like the Adelson trial, the Adelson case, Karen Reed, the week that was, Miss Shorty music, psychology corner, general Miss Shorty trivia stuff, and the winner will get you'll need a pen and paper or some note-taking ability to document your score. It's an honor-based system, and the winner will win the highest score. And if it's an even high score, you'll all get a Miss Shorty merch mug. So it's so worth it. So come along, members only. Sorry, we hardly do any members streams. So let me see. Okay, I'm done. Go back to this bottom. The Life Artist is here. Hi. Hidden Metadata is here. Wait, I see you. Hi, Hidden Metadata. I see the trial channels here. Natalie D's here. Hi. Hello, everybody. Okay, we're also streaming on Jeannie's here. Hello from the UK, well, Ireland. Will there be any gibbons? On gibbons? Monkeys? Oh, no. Baby Nick is adorable. Adult Nick is also adorable. Oh, Maiden's here, also from the UK. Good to see you, girl. Now, so what are we doing today? I've said all the things. Ms. What the Fuck and I are going to walk you through the road so far, fill in the details if you don't know the details of the murder, the hitman, the murder for hire, death of beloved Tallahassee, Florida University, FSU, Florida State University, law professor Dan Markel, back on the 18th of July, 2014. It's been a minute. If you know the case intimately, you can help us pad things out for folks who don't. If you've never heard of it, where have you been? And it's basically a refresher, a catch-up in readiness for the trial, which will start at some point this week. Thank you, Ms. What the Fuck. Replay crew, hi. Thank you for watching on the replay. We should have this time stamped for you down below within the next 12 hours if you're coming in a day after the fact. If you'd like to watch the live chat replay on your handheld device, your iPad, Android, what are you doing, you Android users? Jokes. Nothing wrong with Androids. It's easy. All you need to do is to go to the comments tab and there's a couple of little dots up the top there. And all you need to do is swipe left on the comment tab and it'll give you the option to watch the live chat replay instead. Princey's discovered some new emotes. Members only emotes. Yes, there is. Wait, I need to refresh. What am I doing with my life? There are two. There's a Donna emote, as in Donna Adelson, and a Professor Dan Markel emote for members. There's the Donna one there. I'll drop it. But yes, Princey, please leave a comment or two. Always. Gotcha. Oh, how do I say this? Broodwich? Donna Gotti is going down. No more banana bread. Right. Yes. Yeah, facts. And I'm going to call it now. I'm happy to be wrong. I'm not happy to be wrong, but I won't be miffed if I am wrong. Donna, convicted, obviously. Give it 2 weeks. 2 weeks after Donna's conviction, and I stick a pin in it, Wendy will be arrested. That's my prediction. I hope I'm right. I'm cool if I'm wrong. I'm not going to be losing my mind. There's also a Professor Dan Markel emote. So, oh, hi, Veronica. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying. You know me, my brain sometimes. So, also, while I think of it, there's in readiness for our next stream, our chat with Detective Donna. Confusing to have an Donna and a Detective Donna stream back to back, but there's still the Sade emote, Sade Robinson, and the glorious, glamorous, badass queen that is Detective Donna is also there in the members only for you all to drop. Had to drop a few out of there, but we've got this. Carrie says, I agree, she's next. Yeah, man, Georgia's got a plan. Georgia Kappelman. She's I mean, the wheels of justice turn particularly slowly in Tallahassee, it seems. And I mean, good things come to those who wait, don't they? And you reap what you sow, Adelson family. It's lovely to see you too. I'll call you Veronica because I can pronounce Veronica. You know me, Nick, never one to shy away from a bold call. Yes, Buster. Hidden Metadata says, hi, Buster. Yeah, Busty. The best thing is I was about to press live before I bring Ms. What the Fuck on because she's going to be helping me talk through this so that I don't just rabbit on for 2 hours. As I was closing the back door because it's bloody freezing here at 7:18 a.m. on a Melbourne Sunday winter morning. As I was going to close the back door because it was open so that the dogs could go to the bathroom one last time. The fly is killing me. And probably trotted up to the back door steps with a dead rat in her mouth. So that was cute. Thanks, Tim. If you're going to catch a rat from out, my front neighbours have got a whole bunch of collectibles, scrap metal in their yard. So I'm sure there's rats there, and that's fantastic. So now there's a dead rat on the back step. Better a dead one than a live one, right? Jeannie, thank you so much. This case is off the charts. So great you're covering it. Only discovered it this week. Wow. Supreme content here at Camp Shorty. Now listen, thank you for starters. I'll put you in the draw for the next merch draw we have. Thank you, my friend Jeannie. But that might be a good time for me to say, hey, Ms. What the Fuck, could you please drop the 2 links? We already had one. So I have 2 existing Adelson playlists, right? My whole channel. Also, pay attention tonight because some of these things might be hints to the quiz night. My whole channel, I started making content, shorty shorts. I'm a shorty who makes shorts because of the Adelson case, the Charlie Adelson trial to be specific. So I have 2 Adelson playlists. Thank you, Ms. What the Fuck. The first one contains 97 videos. 86 of them are shorts, like YouTube shorts. They're so like they're so good. They're so funny. There's music. I can't play them because there's music in them. Entertaining AF. Not that murder is entertaining, but this family is laughable. Like, what are you doing? Adelsons, what are you doing? One of those shorts has 2 million and 40 something thousand views. Coincidentally, their short is called 2 million. I feel like that was synchronicity. There's others with 40,000, 30,000 views. So not that views matter, but they are great. And there's some, I don't even know what else is on there. Other stuff. There's some longer form videos also. Not sure. Then I have a second playlist, which and we'll get to it, but Donna was supposed to go to trial September last year. It got called off. Charlie put a spatter in the works at the 11th hour. So I also did another playlist called Donna Adelson Trial Prep, which has about 12 videos where we reviewed Luis Rivera's testimony, Jeffrey Lacasse, Wendy's, 12 videos there. So like the We Need to Talk series in the Karen Reed case, that kind of thing. So that is there for you. There's 2 playlists. And this third playlist is this. Yes, it's actually happening. Donna Adelson's 2025 trial. I'm just going to write Jeannie's name down, and then I'm going to get our beautiful Ms. What the Fuck up here because we've got some graphics. She's got some graphics. We scrambled to pull this show together last minute. But that's you, Jeannie. Thank you. So without further ado, but I'll do this first. Wow. Hi.
Hello.
Good to see you, or Screaming Lily, or both.
Good to see you.
Now, so before we go any further, let me slightly interview you, Ms. What the Fuck. Were you aware of this Adelson case, this whole thing, before I started speaking about it?
No, I wasn't. I think it was when Donna was starting to go back to trial, and then you were dipping into the lore of it, and I was like, okay, this is bizarre. And so I went back and I watched your whole crazy playlist, and I had to know.
And then you watched sorry to interrupt you, but then you also watched Charlie's trial, right?
I watched Charlie's trial, and then I went back and watched the trial for Katie. I watched. Did I watch both of her? I don't want to ruin it for people or start talking, but I watched everything that there was out there, all the trials that have been out there for everybody involved so far. Because I just kind of fell down a rabbit hole for it because it's absolutely insane.
It is insane. The hubris, the entitlement of these, frankly, vile people.
Yes.
Carl Steinbeck, and I regrettably didn't think to mention Carl as being a forerunner in the knowledge and coverage of this case, but Carl Steinbeck likes to refer to them as the Florida Adelsons because there is, and we'll go back to the beginning in a minute, but there is actually a white sheep of the Adelson family, Robert Adelson, who is not to be confused with the evil that is the rest of them. Poppy, please. And he can't be tarred with the same brush as them. But other than that, the Adelsons are trash. So what should we speak, because you've mentioned a couple of players, as have I don't think Rob is included in this graphic because why would he be? He's not a murderer. But shall we start to help people make some connections and chat? Feel free to ask questions. If we're getting to it, if you ask a question and we're getting to it, we'll get to it, just to try and keep me on track.
Okay, sounds good. So let me. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's not gonna
Wait,
work.
no, let's wait. Let me wait. I'll let me play around with it a little bit. I'll make us smaller and then bigger. How about that?
Okay, sounds good.
So who have we got here? So obviously, and we like to always, I say always, like we've covered thousands of trials, but we like to remember the victim and honor the victim, as we did with Sade Robinson, as opposed to celebrating the trash. So Dan is up in the corner of our graphic, of the screen, and also in the center just because.
Yeah, and so we'll
Um,
do the relationships of everybody also.
yeah,
Excuse me.
yeah, because it's so convoluted, right? It's convoluted AF.
It really is. It's kind of a crazy web. So, do you want to run through them and I can just like hit the buttons?
Sure, you hit the button. I'll follow the lines
Okay.
as best my brain can. Okay, so we have the Adelson family, Grandma Gotti, aka Donna Adelson, Donna, and Harvey, her husband. Harvey and Donna have 3 children. I've mentioned Rob Adelson. He's not to be grouped in with the other 2. Charlie Adelson and Wendy Adelson. So Charlie's in prison serving life without parole plus 60 years. So I love that for him. Donna Adelson, as we know, is about to go to trial this week. Jury selection starts on the 19th, which I think is Tuesday, right? And so Charlie's the jury selection for Charlie's trial took 2 days, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. It might have been up like 2 and a bit, but I can't imagine that Donna's voir dire will take any much longer than that. Although they did put a pre-trial motion in. Her defense team, her new defense team, tried to motion to have the trial moved out of Tallahassee, citing impossible to find an impartial jury. So what does I mean? I'm sorry, Donna. Even though I know all about you, not everybody cares about Donna Adelson. I think they'll be fine if they could if they could seat a jury for Karen Reed. Donna's fine. IMO. Now, so Wendy at Charlie's trial, Wendy, Donna. Sorry, Wendy and Donna were named as unindicted co-conspirators. I think Harvey also. Yes, Donna's now absolutely an indicted co-conspirator. Basically, every domino that's fallen, it was like pulling a little string at the beginning, and we'll get to it. But the time frames between each arrest, prosecution of this conspiracy, the players, has shortened and shortened and shortened and shortened. So there's a definite pattern there, and patterns, we like patterns. So Wendy was married to Dan Markel. 1 second, I have my notes. Can I reach them? Because I wouldn't have put them in. Oh, they're right here. Fantastic. I love it when I do something sort of okay. Let me get my remarkable. I haven't had to use it for a minute. Sorry about the crackling. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Walk and talk chat. Now, hi, Poppy. That's not helpful. Now, Poppy, please. Let me just check my notes because I want to get the facts right. So, Dan Markel and Wendy Adelson were married in 2006. How did they meet? Well, there's a website apparently called JDate, which is Jewish dating site, right? Donna, mother of Wendy, and Wendy together perused the dating site, JDate, and selected beloved. I don't know if he was then, but a law professor in the making, if he wasn't already. And so Donna gave her seal of approval to Dan Markel at the time, who is I want to say devout Jew, but that's not the word to or oh my God, I'm going to get the verbiage wrong. He's a firm participant in the Jewish faith. Sorry, that's not what you say. Very Jewish. The Adelsons also Jews, but not so kosher. I know that's relating to food, but still. So they were married for about 6 years, and they separated in 2012. Dan and Wendy. They had 2 young boys at that point, very young, very close together in age, Benjamin and Lincoln, about 18 months or less between the 2 boys. So at the time of Danny's murder in 2014, I think the boys were they were still preschool age. Ruthie will be Orthodox. Thank you, Princey. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is why I love you all. Hive mind. I know Dan, Professor Markel, was vetting a possible school for the eldest child at the time of his murder, literally at the time of his murder. He was on the phone to the music teacher at this prospective school when he was shot and killed by a hitman. So I guess that's so separated and divorced. By the time the murder occurred, not only were, thank you, Madeline Bullitt, Adelson's more reformed. Thank you. I don't know the terminology, so I would love you all to point me in the right direction when I am ambiguous, wrong, vague, wrong, inaccurate. So while the divorce had all gone through, the problem, well, yes, the contentiousness over custody. It was the custody battle between Wendy and Dan for the 2 boys, Benjamin and Lincoln. Donna and Wendy. Donna, the Adelsons, so Charlie, Donna, and Harvey all lived in Miami, whereas Wendy lived with Dan not with Dan, but in the same city, Tallahassee. Donna very much wanted for Wendy and the boys to relocate to Miami. I think Charlie lives in Fort Wayne. Help me out. I don't know things. Hi, Christy. Good to see you. But Danny was a professor at Florida State. He was very happy in Tallahassee. He loved it there. He had colleagues and friends and a life. And it got beyond contentious, right? Like vitriolic, disgusting, really.
Yeah, it was so bad that they had massive battles in court, and the one lawyer was on his side was thinking they were in the process of possibly putting in sanctions against Wendy, because Wendy is also a lawyer.
Yeah, Wendy's a immigration. Well, she was an immigration lawyer, and a celebrated author. Prince, you clarified Fort Lauderdale. Thank you. So yes, so sanctions because Wendy was allegedly conducting herself somewhat unethically. She was making claims in depositions to things that weren't happening. Donna was she was what's the word, committing parental alienation sort of tactics by when her grandchildren, Donna's grandchildren, Wendy and Dan's boys, were with her. She was slurring and saying derogatory things, calling Danny stupid to the boys, and the boys went home and said, "Grandma calls you stupid." So it was just vile. It was vile. Guys, sorry, the dogs are having a little wrestle over there. Well, this stuff will one quadrillion. Wait, my mouse, guys, please, God, why do they have to be like this? In the trial, this upcoming trial, but also in Charlie's trial, the emails that Donna was sending to Wendy are off the charts. The things she was saying. Am I getting ahead of myself, Ms. What the fuck?
I think a little bit. Maybe we could
Okay.
step back and
Thank
talk a
you.
little bit about the relationships of the people.
Sure. Now, so then give me the next link then on the visual, and I'll go there.
Okay, let's go here.
Ooh, so Katie Magbanua, and anybody who says it any other way is wrong. It's 1,000,000,000% Magbanua. I know I'm not necessarily trustworthy on the pronunciation of some words. This one I know. So Katie and Charlie were dating. Charlie, the maestro, he has his number plate on his luxury car. I can't remember what it was, a Ferrari, Lamborghini, something, was maestro. He's a wanker. So he was very much a Lothario, a ladies' man. So he dated a lot of women, but he was dating Katie for only a short period of time before he allegedly, like a couple of weeks, allegedly asked her whether she might know somebody who could rough somebody up. And so Katie did, in fact, know somebody who could rough somebody up. Her baby daddy, Sigfredo Garcia, which is now linked, he's to the right of her in that graphic, was kind of a little like not a great guy. His best friend, school friend, was Luis Rivera, who was at the time, he's not now, the head of the Miami Latin Kings. This is happenstance. This isn't a gang killing. It just so happens that when Katie asked Sigfredo, wind it back. It's so convoluted. So Sigfredo was still very much in love with Katie. They'd been dating since high school and had children together. They'd broken up. She'd been wooed by Charlie Adelson, who one would maybe venture to guess that he had a feeling she might know somebody, that maybe he wasn't necessarily into her other than her connections. However, can't say that for sure because all of his girlfriends are this previously. No more Charlie. Sorry about that. All of his girlfriends are very similar in their look from what we've seen.
Basically the same person.
Yeah. Kind of ditzy, Asian American or similar to that. Gorgeous. That's just his type. So Sigfredo, I guess Katie, I can't remember this one, but I guess Katie probably also knew that Sigfredo, her, longtime high school sweetheart, boyfriend and baby daddy, was besties with Luis Rivera. So she knew, and also Sigfredo had a background with the law. They were into drugs, coke and stuff, party drugs, and they just were the rough crowd. So yeah, she did know someone. So then I don't think that, I don't know too much about the Latin Kings. It's not really the culture of Melbourne, Australia, although we have gangland stuff. I don't know how much they're into just like murdering people. Excuse me. But
Sorry. I don't know how they're just murdering people. It's a great thing.
I'm sure they did, but I don't know. I don't know. Someone can correct me. But because Sigfredo wanted to desperately, he was still absolutely in love with Katie. He would do anything for her. So when she asked if he knew anybody or if he would be willing or whatever that conversation looked like, he jumped. And if it's for money as well, people like this would like to make their money as easily as possible. I'm not sure if a hit on a stranger is easy money, but I guess it didn't really work out for him. Um, by all accounts, Sigfredo, by all accounts, by Luis Rivera's own testimony, um, Luis was under the impression, the Latin King was under the impression that they were actually just going to rough up Dan Markel. They were told. So Katie was told by Charlie that Dan Markel, vile allegations, completely untrue. He was a lovely man. That Dan Markel was abusive and awful to Wendy and the boys, and that this was a safety issue, that he needed to be taken out, taught a lesson, roughed up to stop him, and that Wendy needed to have the custody of her children because her and the boys' life and safety and well-being was in danger. A complete fabrication. Not true. Not true. So I mean, I don't know, again, if Latin kings and gangsters, just general thugs, can be called noble, but they were under the impression they were doing this for a noble cause, not for an entitled mafioso family wannabe entitlement thing. So, do we want to go to Jeffrey Lacasse so we can close that loop?
Absolutely. My favorite person on the board. Sorry, Dan.
Jeffrey Lacasse is the GOAT. Jeffrey Lacasse is a shorty through and through. He's a psychology professor, social work professor. Ruthie will know. Poor old Jeff. Poor old Jeff. Wendy worked her wily ways on Jeff just as much as Charlie Adelson catered to what Katie was going to be bedazzled and starstruck by Charlie's money. Jeffrey Lacasse was very clearly starstruck by the apparent, ostensible beauty and radiance of Wendy Adelson. Social work, thank you, Madeline. I knew it was one of the two. Social work, good. Thank you so much. So Wendy and Jeffrey Lacasse had been dating somewhat seriously, or he thought they were. I have a feeling she being definitely diagnosing, she being the narcissistic piece of shit that she is, like they all are, except for Robert Adelson, was using him and manipulating him. Perhaps not towards that end goal of murder for hire, allegedly, but definitely, I don't think Wendy has a genuine feeling in her body other than loving herself. So Jeff and Wendy had been dating. She'd done some weird shit with him at the time, which I guess if he wasn't such a lovely, trusting empath, he would have, like, hindsight's 2020. And Jeff looked back on some things and was like, In fact, he looked back on some things and thought, and actually wrote down a shit ton of notes, which, jumping ahead, he provided to law enforcement years later. Connections, sus shit about Wendy and the Adelson family. So in the lead up, wait, before I go, I'm going to come back to Luis and Sigfredo, I think. No, Ms. What the fuck? What were you going to say? Direct me.
I wasn't going to say anything. I just was taking myself off mute. You're good.
So Professor Dan Markel was shot twice in the face. Spoiler alert. Sorry. True crime, murder trial. Obviously going to be graphic. He was shot twice in the face when he was sitting in his garage, having just pulled into his garage. How are we supposed to say it? I'm probably saying it. Garage on Trescott in Tallahassee. It had been his and Wendy's family home, and he'd stayed there, and Wendy had moved. I think I probably got that wrong. Anyway, so as I said when I was jumping ahead a bit, Danny was actually on the phone to the music teacher for this prospective school. I think it was like a Montessori school or similar. And he was vetting this, trying to find out whether this was to be a good school for his eldest son, just a young boy. But he pulled into his driveway and was shot twice in the face by an unknown assailant. Spoiler alert, we find out that it was Sigfredo Garcia. These two clowns, Sigfredo and thank you, that's Trescott, that's the resident. So he'd pulled in and pulled into he was still talking on the phone. When I presume he looked to his, which way is it for you guys? Left, yes, and was shot twice through the window at point blank range. It was actually the second time these two hitmen had made this trip to Tallahassee. There was a failed attempt, I think, about a month earlier. I believe it was in June rather than mid-July. Akasha says, I believe it is garage. Thank you. So these two, Sigfredo, the Latin king and his and Katie Magbanoa's baby daddy, Sigfredo. So Luis and Sigfredo had driven already once this route. I think it's 8 hours, is it? I can't see that. Wait, let me scroll. I can see.
Yeah, it depends on which way, but it's like 7.5-ish. It's insane.
Right. So they'd driven all this way once before. Couldn't actually find Professor Markel. No, they found him, but he had his kids with him, and they are honorable murderers, so they couldn't do it. Also, they got too fucking high as kites on wasted. Thank you, on coke and grog. Not so much Luis Vera, but Sigfredo, Katie's baby daddy, was hectic, and there's a whole side quest. Hilarious of his name's what's his name? Shodrick. What's his last name? God,
I don't remember.
Noble.
Shodrick
Nobles. He has dollar. He comes into chats. He might come into ours. He has dollar signs. So he was their plug, right? He was their dealer in Tallahassee, and so I've got shorts on him. He is so funny. Anyway. The first time they made this trip, these two clowns, and they hired a car both times. The first time they were so wasted, and it was a failed attempt, that on their way back from Tallahassee to Miami, I think Sigfredo was fumbling around, playing around, or cleaning, or just dicking around with the gun they had. And he shot it accidentally. It shot into the floor of the rental car, shot through the fuel line. They had to pull over. They then called Shodrick Nobles, their plug guy, because I guess it wasn't that far out of I guess Tallahassee, yes. And he came and picked up Sigfredo, who they went to. What are your auto place called? Like wherever you buy.
They went
auto
to
parts
or something like that.
And and purchased a new fuel line, went back to where the car was disabled by the side of the road, replaced the fuel line, patched up the carpet or something. I think it was only a very small hole in the carpet, and returned the king. King, I saw Prince's Latin kings. Returned the car to the rental agency, and none the wiser. But a failed attempt. All they got was high. And Shodrick Noble's testimony about that is so funny.
So
He's like, no, I just happened to be. Oh, was it? Maybe it was Luis's as well. No, I think it was just Shodrick's saying, no, I just happened to be driving by. I happened to see them. They happened to flag me down by the side of the road so I could go and take them. Anyway, these clowns, like Tony P says, these guys suck. Yes, it was a rental car, both rental cars, both times. But these dickheads, these clowns, these amateurs, both times used their own ID, etc., contact details to hire those rental cars. So I guess that brings us to this, so obviously 5 weeks later, when they made that second attempt, they were successful. Luis Rivera was the driver. The driver and the sort of the what's it called, hitman wingman, and Sigfredo was the actual shooter, right? He makes those 2 shots, runs back to the car, which was waiting in Trescott on the road, and they sped off. Now, a neighbor called a lovely man neighbor who lived directly across, very, very close, a very close neighbor, saw Danny pull in. He and his wife were on their iPads doing stuff next to each other, an elderly man. And he saw Danny pull in to his garage and then saw the car was in there just idling. And he wasn't sure. Just something didn't feel right to him. But he went back to what he was doing because he didn't want to be a sticky beak neighbor, and he thought, oh, obviously he's just on the phone, or he's gonna pull the garage door down, or go out again if the car's still running in there. But that didn't happen. So after a couple of minutes, this neighbor went to inspect, and he sort of thank you, Trial Channel, James Geiger, thank you so much. Went to inspect, and what he came across was the images that Ms. What the Fuck put on the screen for us before. So he called the police, called 911, and first responders came. Hi, Teresa, good to see you. And sadly, Danny was alive, but only just, and didn't make it, I think, overnight. This happened. Oh no! This happened at like 10 a.m. Sorry, that's a pretty important detail. So Danny he'd taken the boys. Danny had the 2 young boys because Wendy and they had shared custody, right? So it was his turn to take Benjamin and Lincoln to preschool that morning. After that, after he dropped them off to preschool, he went to his local gym and did a workout, and CCTV footage caught him entering and leaving, and obviously his swipe card and stuff. And that was about 9-ish, and then he left at about 10-ish a.m. to drive back home after his workout, and was on the phone with the music teacher. The hitmen, it's not funny, sorry, they just, I mean they went undetected, uncaught. They weren't caught or arrested for a few years, but they'd followed him from the daycare to the gym, circled around the gym car park. There's CCTV footage. We'll see it all, I'm sure, in the trial. Again, parked towards the back where they had a view of him coming out. Professor Markel, coming out of the gym when he'd done his workout. When he pulled his car out, the Luis and Sigfredo followed Dan back to Trescott. Now, because it was a rental car, it was a light-colored silver Prius. There, thank you, Madeline. So he went to the gym. Danny went to the gym, and he left the voice message for Wendy, letting her know his plan for the morning so they could meet about the school situation, right? He didn't really want to have to, but he kind of had to. Good. So she knew what his plans were. Wendy, knew what his plans were. This is important. Now, so I guess when law enforcement first started to try and investigate, first started to try to put the very initial pieces together, obviously they spoke to Wendy for like 5 hours. Yikes. But she, other than her answering the question of, can you think of anybody who might want to do this to your ex-husband? And she said, I mean, maybe my brother Charlie. They didn't really have any other leads because Wendy had an alibi, which is a whole other thing. Stick a pin in the alibi. I'll finish off the car thing. So these two clowns, hitmen, hired a rental car a second time. It was a light silvery, greeny colored Prius. That Prius had a sun pass, like a toll tag, a sun pass to be able to use on Florida roads. That Prius, which was captured on CCTV footage at the gym, seeming to follow Professor Markel out, could have been a coincidence. Spoiler alert, wasn't. Was also captured by video CCTV footage from a bus in Tallahassee, bus traveling along the road. There was distinctive features on that, well, like some defects on that rental Prius, which included a wing mirror, the wing mirrors. Instead of having the same color as the Juco of the car, it had obviously been damaged in the past, so it had a black wing mirror on one of the sides. There was a couple of distinctive things. Plus, the sun pass was registered to that vehicle, and so they had a little bit of a thread there. But that actually took them a while law enforcement, a while to find out. While we've still got this graphic up on screen, Jeffrey Lacasse, interesting, drove a very similar car. Very similar. Jeffrey Lacasse on that morning, so convoluted. So Wendy and Jeff had kind of broken up. She'd been doing weird stuff with him, like love bombing, you kind of getting him to come over to watch TV, a movie, How to Train Your Dragon, with her and the boys on this broken television. Coincidentally, the television that Charlie, going back to Charlie, brother Charlie, had bought for Wendy as a divorce present because, and I quote, "I bought you a TV because it was cheaper than hiring a hitman." So, Wendy's television wildly had this very significant damage. This television Charlie had bought, significant damage to the screen. It was unwatchable. Jeffrey Lacasse will testify to this. But she insisted, even though she had another television in the bedroom or another room, Wendy insisted that she and Jeff watched with the children this movie in a couple of days before Dan was killed, clearly to establish that the TV was in fact broken. They couldn't watch. It was just, he said it was just like lines and weird shit, So on the morning that Danny was killed, Donna actually organized for geek guys from Best Buy to come past where she lived to look at the television to repair it.
Just real quick, it's Geek Squad, but that was cute.
What did I say?
Geek guys.
Best Buy's Geek Squad, my brain. Thank you, Geek Squad. Not me. I'm not a Geek Squad. So this is where we start to see a bit of a conspiracy theme, right? Because Charlie paid for the TV, but Donna had bought the TV. They used this TV as code. And Charlie self-snitched on himself in his own testimony in his own trial with that, but that's a whole different thing. So Jeffrey Lacasse and Lacasse, Georgia says Lacasse, which makes it hard for people to remember that it's an A, not an O. Anyway, I digress. Wendy had reeled Jeff back in, and he was just like a panting little, like, hopeful guy to this vixen, hoping that, they went and did a yoga class together. But all she wanted to know from Jeff was, when are you leaving for your trip to Tennessee? Was it Tennessee? I think. And she had to know the time. Jeffrey Lacasse was supposed to be leaving after lunch in his car. He's very similar to a silver Prius car. on the day of Danny's murder. Wendy made sure to find that out. Interesting that these men hired a light-colored silver Prius. It wasn't exactly the same model as Jeffrey Lacasse, but it was very similar. And Lacasse was supposed to be, Jeff, the goat, was supposed to be leaving after lunch in a car very similar. He actually left the night before, didn't tell anyone, and had an alibi. Pausing to say, well, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to you, Misdemeanor. This, friends, is our very own, the very Detective Joe Donna, from lead investigator from the Maxwell Anderson Club. Oh my God. You've got me all fangirling, Ms. Joe. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome, chat. Everybody make Detective Joe, Detective Donna, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. We're just trying to piece together a very convoluted 11-year case of conspiracy to murder. Yes, drop the Detective Donna emotes in the chat. Thank you, chat. Looking forward to our chat after. No, wait. Nick, let me type it. It's her surname is Donner. Here, Nick, I'll put it on the screen for you. It's confusing. We have Donna Adelson and Joanne Donner up next. Thank you for being here, Ms. Joe, as Simi Sharps likes to call you. Now, so there's some sort of more than inference. I mean, Wendy was trying to set up Jeff for this murder, but he had an alibi. He had receipts at a can't remember what the store was, but very a couple within half an hour, but hours and hours away in a totally different city, just half an hour after the murder was committed. So he was Jeffrey Lacasse was very quickly ruled out as being responsible for this. But so people who say that there's not enough, I'm digressing slightly, but if people who are concerned there's not enough of a case against Wendy, strongly disagree. Trust me, trust Georgia Kappelman, trust the prosecution team. There is so much there. There's so much there. Oh, Nick. Oh. We love you, Nick. Here, I'm going to type it for you, Nick. Look, it's Donner in the chat. I'm sure Joe is very used to people mispronouncing and misspelling her name. Thank you, Trial Channel. Kmart surveillance video in Tennessee. Yes, like an impossible thing for Jeff to have been responsible for the murder, the hit, and oh man. Rach, same. It's so much. And this is my case. Like I know this one inside out, and still that's why I love having you all here, so we can share our information and get it right together. It's really, really fantastic. Now what do you
want to
wind me back in? Yes, wind me back in.
Let's talk about what Wendy said she was doing at the time, and maybe look at the map of her actual route versus what she said. You want to do that?
Okay. Yes. So Wendy's a whole hot mess, but she thinks she's amazing. Wendy, this is actually, that's a great segue to what I was just saying. Wendy self-snitched by way of she was so itching, allegedly, so itching for this plan to be completed successfully. She just couldn't wait to see whether the job had been done. She had to drive past the scene with just a shortcut. Kraken, hey girl. So here we've got a route. Wendy lived down the bottom there, right? No, that's ABC's. Where did she live? She lived over there.
Yeah.
So Wendy lived there where your little dot is, that?
The blue bubble.
she had to go. Oh, you can't. This is so many details. You can't make this shit up. Wendy had been invited to a stock the bar, like pre-wedding do. She reckons that the bride and groom requested that she buy a bottle of Bullet bourbon. There's been some speculation as to whether the invitation, this is a sidebar, the invitation that proves that is even legit. But anyway, so she, how many miles or kilometers is that there ish? Do you recall, Ms. What the fuck? Between
Oh gosh, I don't. And there's even a scale, but I can't even see it.
no. So, but anyway, regardless, if she wants to, there are so many other liquor stores between,
Yep, there's one right
like
here.
closer. Yeah.
Here.
Because Wendy was going to lunch with the girls, right? So Wendy had a lunch date with her girlfriends. She was, oh my God, there's so much here. I have so much speculation and beliefs on this. When Wendy is called by law enforcement to say there's been a horrible event, your ex-husband has been shot and killed, he's in the hospital, shot and is in the hospital, clinging to life. Wendy was supposedly on her way to lunch with her girls. We've seen Wendy. She's very well put together. She is all about appearances, same as her mother. All about looks. She's quite gorgeous unless you realize how evil she is. Yeah, that is the wrong date. It says 2022, but it was actually 2014. Thank you, Arcas. We don't typo here.
To be fair,
However,
I did this from an article.
Oh, bastards. Not our typo. Rude.
Not
Thank you for the fact checked. Now, so Wendy was actually wearing these sloppy little ballet flats, like scuffed and ratty looking, a pair of kind of gym like mid thigh baggy gym shorts, kind of like, just nothing snazzy, and a little t-shirt that, oh my God, had a picture of an owl on it. She looked so raggedy. There's no way she was going to lunch with the girls on a proper lunch date. She says she was doing stuff at home. I'll tell you what she was doing. She was packing, knowing that in a couple of days, literally a couple of days before Danny's memorial service, she was moving to Miami. So Wendy is supposedly at home, I think, doing some work. She had a meeting, like a Zoom chat. You can correct me. But then she was like, well, I've got this stock the bar party that I have to get some Bullet bourbon. So before I go to lunch with the girls, which is over there at Mosaic, which is the yellow, that up there. So Wendy's house, far right, Mosaic for the lunch date. Sorry, Mosaic on the left, Wendy's place on the right, over there, and then Trescott down the bottom, Danny's house, that there where the cursor is now. ABC Liquors below that. So Wendy took a shortcut. Yeah, you're probably right, brain. Definitely correct me.
Especially in just a second, especially since the trial channel just went through and did Charlie's trial just recently and posted that. Thank you, the trial channel, for debuffing and making beautiful content.
Good point. If you would like to be, I think it was a 2-week trial. I can't. With all of the trial channel's amazing work in terms of getting rid of the lunch breaks, the paper shuffling, the tea breaks, the sidebars and shit that you can't hear. If you would like to watch and get really well versed, go over to the trial channel and catch Charlie Adelson's trial from. It was in November 2023. The whole channel there. So 1 quadrillion% do that. Great homework. Now, so clearly. So there's a few things here. Number one, why not go to the Publix, just on the literally on the way from her home to to Mosaic, the restaurant where she was supposed to be lunching with the girls. So instead, she just drove to her story in her testimony is that she was familiar with the ABC Liquors down there near Trescott, because that's where she used to go when she lived there. So and no shade, I do the same thing, but I'm not a murderer. I like to go to my familiar places, even though there might be a closer one or one that's more on my way or not out of my way. But this is crazy. This is like,
But she
are
didn't
we?
just go there. What did she do first? She didn't just go to the place.
Well, she took a little shortcut down Trescott. Just did a shortcut down Trescott and then she saw that she thought maybe it was an electrical storm and that there was trees down. So she just went up there. She saw the barricade. She did a K-turn, I'm doing my Wendy Adelson hands. And then she was like, oh, I guess I can't get the shortcut down Trescott. So I'll go back. Oops. She drove all the way up to the barricade, like the crime scene tape, whatever they had set up, and then turned around in her minivan back to that real convenient ABC Liquor. Yeah. So again, anybody who says there's not enough to arrest Wendy, I 1,000,000,000% do not agree. There's just so much to remember. I guarantee you, Georgia Kappelman, state prosecutor, and Sarah Dugan, her lady in waiting, her second chair, they've got it all, man. Wendy, TikTok Wendy. Now, what else is there? So what did the trial channel say here before? Now, my mouse just decided to go on the blink. Okay. 7-day trial. Was it 7 days? I thought it was 2 weeks, but that might have been including voir dire. You'd know. I don't know. The jury only deliberated for 3 and a bit hours, including lunch for Charlie Adelson. So slam dunk there. Let me see.
So we have a couple more slides on here.
Yes.
We have a little bit about the before and after of what what some of our players are looking like right now, and then we have
I'm going to BRB 1 second, okay? Just something. You know me, I forgot something.
Yep,
Oh,
no
no, look. Wait, I'm baby junior attorney. Who am I? No, I'm baby hydrant head.
You're a
Oh, my
baby.
goodness.
Sorry.
We have to make sure we show Detective Donna her. Oh, look, I'll be Detective Donna. Let me be Detective Donna. I'm going to put my baby Detective Donna avatar on while I'm gone.
Okay, that's good. All right. And actually, while you're gone, maybe what I'll do is put up this because Nick hasn't seen it because he wasn't here last night.
I have no idea what is happening there with those two chaps and that bear. It's like a dream. You know, when you have a dream and you're in the middle of the dream and you think it's a real dream, and then all of a sudden an animal comes in and starts talking, and you realise, oh, it's a dream. It's bizarre. Like, what is that?
I actually sent that to Nick. I couldn't not. I think, yeah, I did. Just after we played. I think, I don't know. Maybe you know me. I'm terrible unless you tell me something's a secret. Okay. So, and also we're going to save enough time for just like a brainstorming, like questions and answers and stuff before we wrap it up in probably about an hour to get ready for our chat with Detective Donna Joe. Now, okay, so these folks, look at them. Charlie went through quite the evolution there. So there's Charlie and Wendy, his sister. And sidebar, Charlie is even creepy. Wait, let me tell this little one. He made a comment to, I believe, his mother after he was convicted on the jail calls. That's a whole thing as well. Oh my God, that's gonna anyway, guilty knowledge. Charlie made a comment to his mother on the jail call after he was convicted that when Wendy walked in to testify, he didn't recognize her and he actually was checking her out. He is such a vile creep. He's such a creep. He's a creep. So that's them down the bottom left. There's Wendy and Donna, same event, clearly, up the top. Donna reminds me, and don't get me wrong, my adoptive mother is not a murderer, nor is she Grandma Gotti. However, the mindset is very similar in terms of appearances and superficiality being the most important thing. And I guess we went through Donna Adelson's commissary list in the week that was last week, right? And Donna's been indulging in some very expensive carbs, although they've got all the money in the world. So then Donna now, and no shade on gaining weight, she's almost 70. It's very hard to maintain one's weight at the best of times as we get older, one that we're happy with, let alone if you're in prison with jail with limited exercise and a very limited nutritional, no personal trainer, no going for walks down on the beach in Miami. And she likes beef jerky, mayonnaise, what else? Fruit Loops. We've got that timestamped, if you'd like to see her commissary list, we have got that timestamped in the week that was from last week. I think it was that anyway, the most recent, the week that was. So here's Wendy and her latest beau. They've been together for a couple of years now. I think his name's George. Am I right?
I didn't look that far into it. I just thought it was
Chat will correct me. He's a very wealthy man. Wealthy. Wendy no longer lives in Florida at all. She's in Colorado now, I think. She went to Texas, and now she's in Colorado.
Yeah.
So watch yourselves out there, you what are Colorado people called? Coloradians? No.
Coloradans?
Coloradans.
Somebody will correct us.
Nick says, Penny for George's thoughts on this. We'll call him George just because I'm not sure. I guarantee you that Wendy is working her wily, narcissistic siren ways on George. And yes, she was in Texas, and then I think she's in Colorado now. That's the latest I've heard. Please correct me, chat, if I'm wrong. Wendy loves a red dress, doesn't she?
I did not snap that one. I didn't want to be tagged.
so scandalously, and it was Kraken. Thank you very much. A good segue to link what I was about to say next. Wendy scandalously wore a very plunging neckline, satiny red dress to her boy's bar mitzvah.
Yeah.
I think it was early last year, so after Charlie's conviction. The video was available. Somebody posted it, and then the Markel family requested that, out of respect for these children who have nothing to do with it, to take it down. But I just said to Ms. What the Fuck yesterday, I think, hey, Google the dress that Wendy wore to the bar mitzvah. And when Ms. What the Fuck Googled it, what was the warning?
It was tagged not safe for work. It was interesting.
Hello, Hedda. How are you? Hedda. Did you get your new car? Good to see you. Now, so Wendy, for all of this, to get her and her children to Miami to be with her parents, she's not even in the same, like, north-south of wait, isn't Colorado up north? Sort of, middle.
Man.
Middle. Well, she's definitely not in Florida anymore. And poor old Harvey is either still wandering around the airport at Miami-Dade International, or he's hiding from the phone every time Donna calls him from jail. Who's the man with his hand on a booty? That is Wendy's couple of years squeeze. I think it's been about 2 years time. Who knows? He's a very wealthy man. Colorado is smack in the middle. It's not Florida though, is it? Yeah. Mid, out in the mountains. Cooler. Yes. Rocky Mountain High. So what else? I've got a few. Oh yes, okay. Witness list. Thank you. So this is the witness list. Now, before we go into the witness list, let me just pull us back to this size for a tick. I've got a few dates. So this is a long time, right? So Wendy and Danny, Professor Markel, were married in 2006. They separated in 2012, and by Dan's murder, they were divorced, and that divorce settlement was all said and done. It was the child custody battle, right? Dan Markel was 41 when he was murdered, so young, and honestly, just a beautiful, kind, by all accounts, a lovely man, a beautiful professor, beloved by his students and his colleagues alike, his friends. Like, this was not that any murder. It's not a cliched trope to say he was a glorious man. The word beloved I put every time in anything I type about Professor Dan Markel. He was a good man, right? So, actually, Ms. What the fuck? Can we please put that before we go to the witness list? Yes, trial channel witness list for Donna's trial. This one. It's a revised list from the one from last. Can we put the photo of the family, the tree, up on the screen? Is that okay? Thank you. Yep. Click this now. So I told you about the Prius. Let's wind it right back to the day of the murder, the murder, the hit. These two, Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera, were captured in their silver, like light greeny silver Prius rental, captured CCTV all around Tallahassee, and the Sun Pass registered them. It took a little while for law enforcement to make those connections because there didn't seem to be a link. However, by May 2016, so the 25th of May 2016, just under 2 years after the murder. Hi, Scotty McGinnis. Good to see you. Trial channel, we can drop that in the Discord. Easy peasy. We'll drop them in the Discord so they don't have to screenshot. Easy peasy. Now, so on the 25th of May 2016, Sigfredo Garcia was arrested because he was the one who rented the car, right? It took them a couple of years, law enforcement, to get that connection enough to get a warrant for his arrest. On the 2nd of June 2016, so a week later, Luis Rivera was arrested. Now, he was already in prison on, I think, RICO charges, federal prison. And he was facing a significant amount of time in federal prison for unrelated charges due to his gang activity, Latin Kings. He flipped on Sigfredo, on Katie, because he didn't give a fuck about Katie McBanoa. That was Sigfredo's baby mama. He was just the guy that was driving and actually why don't we just rough this guy up and steal his money? Why don't we, and not Dan Markel, when he found out it was supposed to be a hit on the way to Tallahassee the first time, or maybe even the second time, he's like, why don't we just go straight and like rough up Adelson, Charlie, take his money? Why do you have to kill this guy? Let's not kill anybody. Why are we killing anyone? Luis Rivera didn't think it was a great idea. Anyway, so he was kind of dragged along just because he was childhood friends with Sigfredo. Nothing to do with him. It's not his beef. It was none of their beef. So he flipped to avoid the death penalty on this, right? This was a death penalty. Florida's a death penalty state. And then so that was on the 2nd of June 2016. No, that was when he was arrested. Luis Rivera pled to all the charges, made a deal because he flipped on the 4th of October 2016, just a couple of days after Katie Magbanua was arrested. So he flipped. He gave a proffer to the state prosecutors and told Georgia Cappleman about the whole thing, that they were told that it was the dentist, his sister, dentist being Charlie Adelson, periodontist, a traveling periodontist, because he's so unbearable that nobody would have him as a permanent practitioner in their practice. He traveled all around and made big money, cash money, big money. Katie was arrested just, and then Sigfredo pled. So he actually ended up, Sigfredo Garcia, Luis Rivera actually ended up with a relatively light sentence. I want to say 19 years. Don't quote me. Now, Katie,
He had a life sentence, and then on top of it, he had his other sentences. So
correct. So he had other sentences, but he didn't get the death penalty, and he certainly didn't get sentenced to life without parole plus 60 years, like the rest of them did. So Katie and Sigfredo went to trial together. Sigfredo was convicted for murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and solicitation. Oh, maybe not solicitation. Katie ended in a mistrial, which was what the fuck you were saying. You've watched all those trials. Katie's second trial went ahead in May of 2022, and she was found guilty this time. Sidebar, Katie was offered full immunity, no charges, full immunity. You will walk. If you flip on the hitman and on Charlie, she wouldn't do it. In her second trial, in the retrial, Katie was convicted and sentenced to life without parole plus 60 years. Her other option was to flip and walk. Man, sometimes being a snitch does get you somewhere, right? Like,
right,
wow.
and then she's
How's
like,
that?
afterwards, she's all like, "Oh, I should have done it. I should have said I did it." And during her sentencing, she's like pleading mercy and everything. And
Yeah. I mean, Charlie Adelson, Charlie Adelson talks out his ass. He convinced everybody that there's no link. Nobody knows it was us. I'm paraphrasing. Nobody knows. And if there was any risk that any of us were going to get in trouble, I'd already be on a plane, Charlie said. Now, so that was October 9th, 2019, Sigfredo was convicted. Right. May 2022, Katie Magbanua was convicted. But before her trial on the 21st of April 2022, so 3 and a bit years ago, Charlie was arrested. Great story. Yikes. He was in his underwear with his crazed hair, with his assault rifle pointed out the front window, with barbed wire all around his mansion, his Fort Lauderdale mansion, paranoid to fuck that either the Latin Kings or the feds or law enforcement were coming to get him. He was losing his shit. And when he was in his underwear, when he was arrested, the sidebar, he had to have some clothes to wear, to be perp walked out to the awaiting patient prisoner transport vehicle or the squad car, whatever. They grabbed a hoodie out of his closet, and it was an orange hoodie with the word unemployed. And Charlie had actually joked in the past that if he ever got arrested, wouldn't it be hilarious if that was what he was wearing? And the universe, lol, they did. The cops didn't know. Anyway, so on November the 6th, 2023, Charlie was found guilty. Just over 3 hours of deliberations from the jury. And he was sentenced to life without parole and 60 years. He testified. he will testify again unless he pleads the fifth. Now, but in that interim between the Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera and Katie all being arrested, they law enforcement, the feds, Pat Sanford, was struggling to make a connection. They knew that there was a link between Wendy, like this was a hit, like they knew, but they had to get it enough to arrest, right, to indict some people. So if you're familiar, Georgia Kappelman suggested that they initiate a sting operation, a bump. So an undercover FBI agent approached Donna Adelson in 2016 after these arrests of the first three, to approach Donna Adelson on the street with a written note, pretending to be a Latin king, terrible Latin king. He was so polite. Anyway, to hand her a note to infer that he was friends with Sigfredo Garcia, that he knew that the Adelsons, were financially looking after these three, bottom rungs in the ladder of the conspiracy financially, and that he would like $5,000, please. Thank you. He was very polite for a gang member, right?
With the best English.
Oh, such good English. And he had his shirt tucked in. He had like smart business casual with a short sleeve shirt, like okay. Anyway, so the idea was that if Donna had nothing to do with this, surely if you were approached by a Latin king member, questionable, on the street with a demand for extortion of $5,000, wouldn't you go home and tell your husband, Harvey, immediately? Like, holy shit, man, what's going on here? No. Within very, very quickly, Donna and Charlie had a couple of phone conversations, where, remember with that TV analogy, where Donna says, I think we need to talk. Something that we need to talk. And Charlie's like, what is it, from the IRS? Like, what is it, the tax man after us? She's like, no. He goes, what's it about? She's like, I mean, something that's involving the two of us. And he's like, what do you mean? He wasn't picking up what she was putting down. And she says, this TV's going to cost about $5, she says. And then Charlie very quickly organizes a meeting with Katie. They were no longer dating. That fizzled out pretty quickly. They were still friendly. And sidebar, Donna had been paying Katie from the Adelson Institute payroll with successive consecutive checks. Weekly, monthly. Katie didn't do any work for the Adelson Institute. None, zero, nunsies, nada. Donna was signing those checks. Bye, Donna. Anyway, so Charlie calls Katie. He organizes a meetup, a lunch date at La Dolce Vita, a fancy restaurant. The feds wired that shit up. They got the whole place wired up and camered up, mic'd up and cameras. And Charlie proceeded to tell Katie, reassure Katie that it was fine. This is fine. She's like, it's not us. Well, I don't know, man. He's like, honestly, if it's the cops, that's good. It means that they don't. So it was just the most. You can't even rationalize it. Charlie's an idiot, but he thinks he's the smartest guy around. So this bump absolutely did what it needed to do. Stimulated the conversation that led to incriminating things being said, sus behaviors, connections being made that weren't able to previously be connected, like we have with this pictorial, this demonstrative here. And that, Simi, leads us back to, so Robert Adelson is testifying. He's on the witness list. Shall we shall we pull that witness list up and have a look? Because yikes. Rob Adelson was on, if you have not listened to the podcast called Over My Dead Body, that's where I heard of this case years ago. Rob Adelson actually spoke for the last time publicly on that podcast, Over My Dead Body. He has big thoughts. I have a feeling he's going to have big thoughts on the witness stand. So who have we got? Can you make that bigger at all, Ms. What the fuck, please? Or nah? Love you. So some of these names I won't be familiar with. And obviously we know, us trial watchers know that not every witness on the witness list is called, but if they're not on the witness list, they can't be called. So better be safe than sorry, right? So we've got Brittany Adams, INV investigator. Brittany Adams, SASO. Charlie Adelson. Oh my God. This is not entertainment. It's not. It's not content. It's not grift material, but good God, the shorts I'm going to make. This will be a spectacle. Unless Charlie plays the fifth. Interesting that they're starting
Charlie-
with sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say Charlie, I saw had been moved just recently, so it looks like he's on his way or is already in the area now.
It's very costly to pull all these inmates from wherever they're housed around, not just the state, but around the country. Like, where's Charlie? He's somewhere. Charlie is a twit, Simmy. Amen. That was one. Donna had to pay all of the expenses after her last trial was literally like, no, stop everything. I think voir dire was starting that day. She had to pay all those costs of the prisoner transport costs because she and her legal team hadn't gotten a signature out of Charlie to say that he was waiving the conflict of interests between his attorney, Dan Rashbaum. That's a whole nother thing. Oh my God. Charlie's attorney, Daniel Rashbaum, was supposed to be representing Donna Adelson and was. Charlie never signed the waiver of conflict of interest and pulled the plug at the last minute. It was Rashi who recommended to Donna, it's on a call, she says it, you don't hear him saying it, but she hearsay, he was the one who recommended Donna go to find a non-extradition country and to do it quickly if they're going to go one-way Vietnam, baby. But he got removed.
He had a good job with Charlie.
I mean, Rashi gave Charlie a score of 95 for his testimony. I mean, we all at the time speculated whether that was 95 out of like 10,000. Charlie was so flawed that he was convicted, given Maxwell Anderson vibes, right? He was like, wait, what? Me? Oh, right. So we've got Charlie, poosh, shackle that boy. Rob Adelson, I'm very looking forward to that. Hope he's okay. Wendy Adelson, I wonder if she'll wear the same dress or if she'll wear the same thing as last time. Trial Chatter was mind blown just the other day when she realized Wendy had worn the exact same outfit for the first two trials for Sigfredo and then Katie's second trial. She could believe it. But she didn't bring the straightener on the second one, so she looked different anyway. Silly. I had a feeling that we all speculated at the time or last year that Wendy had done that so that when her boys looked up trial footage, they'd see her wearing the same outfit. But then, who was it? Maybe Carl Steinbeck speculated. No, I don't think it was. Anyway, that perhaps it was her being performative and getting into her costume for testifying. Anyway, she'll wear grey and probably raggedy ballet flats. Maybe she'll wear a red dress. Yikes. So Drina Bernhardt, Sherry Bennett, Tallahassee Police Department, Bill Brennan, Tallahassee Police Department, Special Agent Lois Greg Bronstein, FBI. I don't think Pat Sanford's on the list this time, is he? Hope so. Patricia Bird, I don't know, FBI agent, Dr. Anthony Clark. Chris Corbett is great from the Tallahassee PD. Investigator Brock Diaz from the U.S. Fire Marshal's Office. Oh, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Oh, my God. This guy. Oh, my God. If you like, there's any of these people that I laugh about, if you have a look at my playlist with all the shorts, like Ryan Fitzpatrick is in those shorts. He's a character. He gives Ryan Nagel vibes, to be honest. What do you reckon, Miss What the Fuck?
Yeah, I would say so. He's definitely got interesting out of court history too.
Yeah. And ways in which he earns his money history, right?
Yes.
Yes. Now, so we got Jim and Sharon Geiger. That's James Geiger. That's the neighbor who. Thank you to Trial Channel for reminding me. He's the neighbor who called the 911. Craig Isom's great. Retired Tallahassee Police Department. Craig Isom sat in the courtroom quite some in Charlie's trial. He looks a lot like Phil Markel, Danny's father, so it's a little confusing. Same sort of white hair look. Oscar Jimenez, retired FBI. Erica Johnson. Tara Kawas. So Tara Kawas is Katie Magbanoa's former defense attorney. That's interesting. I hope they call her. Nice work on advising your client to take the plea offer, you silly. Yeah, same, Madeline. I'm not sure. Yeah, Simi, neighbours across the street, correct. Brian, Special Agent Brian Kendall, FBI. FS Cornegay, retired Tallahassee PD. Well, Jeffrey Lacasse, the GOAT. This man had his chance to shine. He's so organized. He's meticulous note taker. He's a social worker. He's a professor. He's an academic. He's a bloody great guy. And Wendy fucked him over. She tried to frame him for the murder. Eee. Speculate, but yes. Clarissa Libretto, I don't know her. James Lewis, Catherine Magbanoa, Katie Magbanoa, Francis Magbanoa. I wonder if that's Katie's father or brother or sister. Chat, do you know? Who else we got? Joanne Maltese, retired Tallahassee PD. David Marcus. Keith McElveen, I'm not sure. Ramsey neighbor. That sounds... Investigator Jason Newland. Yes. Waldo Nunez. Sheldrick Nobles! Please call Sheldrick Nobles. He is so entertaining. Oh my God, I'm just making big crescent moons in my hands with my excitement hands. Katie's brother. Thank you, Madeline. Thank you so much. You've been very helpful with your clarifications. Thank you. Excuse me. Pat Sanford, huzzah. He's there. So Jessica Rodriguez. Oh, so Luis Rivera. Wait, I skipped a few. Dr. Jerome Obed. I think that might be the medical examiner, but don't quote me. Scott Radius. Danny Beth Ritchie. Luis Rivera. Jessica Rodriguez. Marsha Rodriguez. Kerry Rosanna. Pat Sanford. Lisa Shelby. Stuart Schlazer. David Sims, retired Tallahassee PD. Robert Schwartz. Danny Chigero. Detective Josh Turner. Oh, Junam Chenda. Oh my God. Chat. Junam Chenda is Junam Chenda. Oh my God, she got lost. I guarantee you she was in another bathroom in the courthouse doing her makeup and taking selfies. She came in with this roller suitcase in Charlie's trial. Her phone alarm went off. It's a whole vibe. Her teeth are horrendous. Charlie is obviously a horrific periodontist. She has got these mad Matt McCabe chompers, but worse. Like, wow. I know Yinja. I'm friends with Yinja Yindra Velazquez Mascaro was Katie's bestie. I actually have been thinking about asking her to come on and chat. She's cool. Was Katie's bestie, not anymore. Stephen Webster, Sean Yao, Tallahassee PD, and Sarah Yusuf. Wow. And Georgia Kapperman is the state's prosecutor. Would turn gay for Georgia.
Dr. Jerome.
Jerome.
Dr. Obed, wasn't he involved in the practice with I feel like he was involved in the practice with with Charlie or
yeah. Harvey. It's tricky to see a bunch of names out of context, right? I mean, we'll post this list in, or you can screenshot it off here. We'll post this list in the Discord, in the Donna Adelson Florida versus Donna Adelson draw. But feel free, anyone who's got spare time, to chase these down and make us some links for us. Not chase them down, like, I mean, don't mean like reach out to them. I mean, put some context to their names. Another dentist, says Princey. There you go. If the name rings a bell. All right. Now let me see what I got. More of my notes. We still got a little bit of time. Okay, right. We do have time. So Charlie was convicted. 3 hours. Jury said, "You're an idiot. Your story is ludicrous. You did not score 95. Sorry, Charlie. Shut up. Blah, 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 Charlie." So Donna and Charlie spend like a Brian Koberger or Stephen Stearns amount of time on the phone on jail calls in the aftermath, right? Charlie, they couldn't believe it. They weren't blaming Georgia Kappelman, although they thought she was playing up the use your common sense, y'all, Southern charm. They said she put on a Dateline closing argument that was just all like propaganda and bullshit. In these jail calls, Charlie was livid that Wendy Adelson just could not resist but drive past that crime scene. Like, ugh. Also, facts. You silly woman. Complicit. Next. But they had a huge problem. Charlie, they were calling the Tallahassee jury, not a panel of the peers, of Charlie's peers. They're a bunch of inbred idiots, imbeciles who don't even read a book. So good luck with that. But so Donna made arrangements in the coming days after his conviction. She met with estate lawyers to set hers and Harvey's estate up for the boys, their grandchildren, Benjamin and Lincoln. Wendy came over to sign a bunch of papers. I'm of the opinion that Wendy gave Donna Dan Markel's grandmother's Holocaust ring to take to Vietnam with her in that time, but that's a whole nother story. Yes, Wendy didn't give back the family heirloom when they divorced. She's lovely. Wendy seems lovely. But in all of these jail calls, there was some glitchiness happening with the phone, the jail call line. The book. Yeah. The jail call lines like dropping out, hanging up, just messing with the phone call. It was glitchy. So Donna's there with Harvey in their apartment in Miami with the estate lawyer and her husband, I believe, and a couple of other people. Chat, you can set me straight. But so she's on the phone to Charlie because he's calling her nonstop, and the phone drops out. So Donna, being the ultimate boomer, didn't press end on her iPhone. She's like, "Oh, it must have just dropped out." And she kept talking with her phone there, an open line, and it recorded it all. That will 100%, like, it's so incriminating. It's the Vietnam stuff. And on, what is it? So Charlie was convicted on the 6th of November, right? 2023. On the 13th of November, so what's that? 1 week later, Donna and Harvey are arrested on the very last point of the, oh my God, my brain always, it's not the gangplank because that's the olden days. What's it? The air bridge. Is that what it's called? From the plane that connects, sorry, from the gangway that connects to the plane, that bit. The very last play.
Let's just call it a game. Like, I like that.
Is it good? Ah, good. Jet bridge. Thanks, Micah. Boarding the plane. Yes, basic. That. Now, law enforcement didn't actually have eyes on. Yes, Ms. What the fuck? Yes, I took my earbud out for a second and it would have gone echoey. Yeah, it should be back now. Better. Law enforcement didn't actually have Jetway. I like that. I like it. It's in. Oh, I know that her fleeing to Vietnam is in. I have a feeling that's all part of the same thing, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. There's a lot going on. If chat knows, let us know. So neighbors or neighbors informed law enforcement that Donna and Harvey were planning to flee, that they were booked on a flight. They booked it just before Charlie's conviction, I think. But they, a week later, were fleeing the country. Thank you, Jeannie. Jean, True Crime Jumpy. Sorry. Oh my God. It is in. Yes. It's all tied up in the same thing. Thank you. I think two separate people made the call and informed Pat Sanford, hey, come out of retirement to arrest Donna Adelson. She's trying to flee the country. And he did. So on the 13th of November, she was arrested. It was marvelous. I remember it happening in real time. I was watching Surviving the Survivor. And who is very, very heavily Adelson coverage. And we watched it all unfold as it happened. It was hectic, very exciting. What a silly woman. A week later. Harvey was let go, still probably wandering around the corridors. It was the longest perp walk you've ever seen. All the way in an international airport, a big one, a sprawling international airport. All the way. 20-minute perp walk, best. Is this Donna's first trial? Holly Street, yes. There was supposed to be one in September last year, but it was halted. It was wrecking balled by Charlie Adelson because he had he put a spanner in the works, I think intentionally, by not signing the waiver to a conflict of interest between his and his mother's attorney being the same attorney. Whole thing. So finally, yes, Princey, finally. And then 2 days later, after her arrest, the grand jury indicted Donna Adelson and she was committed to stand trial. She's been in jail ever since. Interesting. I think that's all. Yes, Madeline says, with the smooth jazz bullet airport music in the background. Lol. I love your Madeline Bullet is so funny. Bullet bourbon. Like, oh my God. There's so many things. If you like, yep, she's been in jail the whole time. I agree, Simi. I think it was by design, stalling tactics. You know what that did? That just delayed the inevitable and chewed up more of their resources, their dollars, which is so important to the Adelsons. Now, chat, do you have any questions or do you want us to talk about anything we haven't talked about? Or would you like us to play anything? Ms. What the fuck, come back. Do you think we've missed anything? We've done a pretty good job of... Oh, wait. Here's a few more things. If you weren't already outraged. So Wendy had already left. Wendy told Ruth and Phil Markel that they could see their grandchildren. They were from the Markels are from Canada. Dan was from Canada. And Wendy told the Markels, Ruth, that she could see the grandchildren, her grandchildren, before the funeral. But Wendy left. No, just after the funeral. But Wendy had already packed up her belongings and was already well on her way. She also couldn't speak to law enforcement again after that initial interview, conversation, because she'd already was on moving to Miami and retained an attorney, etc. Within a month, Wendy had already changed the boys' names, not legally, but in enrolling to school, she'd removed the Markel from her two sons' names, and they were going by Adelson. Within 12 months, she'd changed their names legally. Ruth Markel and Phil Markel have had, in the last 11 years, such limited access to their grandchildren. I think it's like 2 or 3 times, to the point that Ruth Markel lobbied for legislative change in terms of grandparental alienation. So and had laws changed. It's in Florida that grandparents should have rights.
Yeah, it's called the Markel Act or the Markel Law now or something like that.
Yeah. She's also written a book. It's called The Unveiling. I've listened to it. It's good. It's a little, I don't know. I don't want to throw shade on Ruth Markel. It was quite compelling and gut wrenching, if not a little florid style of writing for me. That's all I'll say. But it's out there if you would like to support Ruth Markel. She's got a book called The Unveiling. Wait, so Madeline Bullitt says, side note, there is a police interview with Tamara Demko that is well worth a listen. Absolutely. She was colleagues with Dan, right? She was friends with both Dan and Wendy during the divorce, but Wendy iced her out in the end. It is a great interview. There's 2. You can see her in real time processing all the things, the realizations, the unraveling of the cognitive dissonance of what had happened. Great interview. Very good. Deep Dive True Crime has got a lot of this stuff. Deep Dive True Crime. They have a channel, very big channel. Boomed in subscriber numbers during Charlie's trial and the aftermath. Pretty Lies and Alibis, Gigi, also does great coverage. Carl Steinbeck, he was in court, so was Gigi. Carl was in court for, I think, just the last couple of days, perhaps closing argument. Oh, did you go over Katie being employed at the family business receiving checks signed by Donna? I did. She wasn't employed. She did no work. She just got regular checks that were, consecutive numbered checks signed by Donna's. Nail, meat coffin.
So I starred a couple that we can talk about that we haven't.
Thank you. Let's have a look. Okay. The foster home story. Oh, the foster. That's in the emails, right? So Wendy, right? Yes, Wendy. Oh my God, that's dragging out of my recesses. Wendy, right? So Wendy said that she was concerned that that Ruth Markel had organized for a Jewish care facility, an interim, a temporary care facility, to be on the standby for if and when Wendy was arrested, because the Markels were in Canada, and at that time Wendy and the boys were in Florida, a long way away, right? So had Wendy been arrested, well, she will be, but had she been arrested back then, Ruth just wanted to have plans in place to make sure the boys, Benjamin and Lincoln, weren't going to be taken into the regular state, like, is it called what is it called?
It's, I think down there it's DCF Department.
Yeah. So it was a contingency plan just in case, because the world knows that Wendy was involved and that she will be arrested eventually. So that's what that was. But then Wendy weaponized that, which is a very sensible thing. And Wendy knows that she was in on this. Please. Allegedly. But she, of course, like any good narcissist, flipped a well-intentioned, sensible thing into being the victim, that it feigned indignation and outrage, and that's the story there. And so then fully removed all lines of connection and contact between Phil and Ruth Markel and their grandchildren. That's that story. No, that dragged out of my brain, the recesses of my memory. Thank you. The trial channel, moldy stapled dollars. Yes, Charlie kept his money in bundles of 1,000, stapled in the top right corner, I think, top corner, one of the corners. Because doesn't everybody staple their money? But when Katie went over to Charlie's house the day after the murder to collect the money, he handed her a bag of a shopping bag in which was a paper grocery bag. Sorry, my dogs are snoring. And inside that was a sandwich bag, a plastic sandwich bag, a Ziploc bag. And the money, when she got it home and took it out of the nappy bag and took it out with the Sigfredo to divvy up the proceeds of the hit, the money was all wet and starting to go moldy because Donna, it was Donna and Harvey had stopped by literally 10 minutes before Katie got there to collect the money. Donna and Harvey had gotten there very briefly to see Charlie at his place and obviously handed over the money. And Donna had washed it, I guess, to remove DNA and stuff. Like, wouldn't you have dried it first? Like, she literally laundered the money and put it back in the bag wet. And when Katie told, I think Luis or Sigfred or one of the hitmen about this, they said, well, just dry it out with a blow dryer. Money's money, man. Wendy's book. Oh, yeah, that. Wendy's book. She'll claim that it's North Florida State University. Wendy wrote a book. It's out there. I mean, I wouldn't give her it's terrible. She wrote a book about an immigration lawyer who was stuck in a dead end of the road, something like town called what was this town called? Hiawatha
or something like that.
At North Florida State University, about how she just wanted to get out of that dead end backwater place, but she had to stay there because her husband and all this stuff. And she's Hiawatha. There it is. Oh my goodness. Oh, let me go back. Okay. Let me check if I got any money yet. Smarter Harry's here. She says, I've met some Donnas. Not to be confused with Detective Joe Donner, lead detective in the Maxwell Anderson murder investigation for the murder of Sade Williams. She's joining us in about half an hour, less than, in a different stream. We have a portal already set up for that. Different Donner. Godforsaken place. Thank you, Nina. Hi, Nina Canadian. Good to see you. Godforsaken place. Oh, Wendy. So we will be covering as recaps Friday and Saturday nights for the next couple of weekends until Donna's trial is over. We'll be covering the highlights, or are they lowlights? I'm not sure. The lights of the Donna Adelson trial. Yes, Nick. That's not Nick. What? My brain rhymes with Tallahassee. It does. Hiawassee, Tallahassee. We'll be covering as recaps, the most memorable bits, Of course, we'll be hopefully using the trial channels. Amazing defluffed stuff for our when we're playing the videos. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what's new in this trial because I think there is going to be some new stuff. I saw someone on the Twitter said, I don't care about Donna's trial, just get Wendy arrested. I'm like, well, stick a pin in it, give it 2 weeks after Donna's convicted. But I think this is actually going to be quite fascinating. And mark my words, Donna Adelson, I mean, she's already said, we covered it last week, she's planning to testify because a woman like that cannot resist convincing us because who wouldn't believe her? Nicholas Tickler said, this has been a terrific recap. This trial is going to be epic. Thanks, Nick. Thank you, Ms. What the Fuck, for making it less of me just rambling with some good visual prompts.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you very much. Veronica, thank you so much for your super sticker. $10 holler. I will put you in the draw for our next merch draw. Probably not next weekend because I'm a terrible grifter. And the odds are very good if I do it too often.
I'll take any motherfucker's money if he giving it away. Shit.
I'm just writing the name. Cha-ching. That's it. Trial Channel says, you better not whisper into that mic or I'm going to lose my shit, right? Hopefully that's you, Veronica. Hopefully the audio is better than the most recent pre-trial motions hearing. The last one was yikes. Madeline says, very, very good recap. Loved it. Thank you so much. It really helps. Like there's so much in this case. Like I know it really well, but obviously I forget lots of things. Like I forget 15 minutes ago. So having you all here, it's such a beautiful hive mind where we can share our knowledge and learn together. I love that shit. Now, what does Kraken say? Oh, Shorty, how epic would it be that as soon as Wendy is relinquished from her subpoena, the bailiff, that's what I think is going to happen because she is a flight risk. Yeah, I'm screaming from the rooftops wherever I go, including here. Stick a pin in it. Within 2 weeks of Donna's conviction, Wendy will be arrested, indicted. I hope I'm not wrong. What a crime story, says Nina. Wishing justice for the Markel family. You know what? Full justice. It's not okay to just get this was a conspiracy. It's very clearly a conspiracy. And the Markel family and friends of Danny Markel, Professor Dan Markel, have been waiting 11 years. Like 11 years. It's too long. I know, again, Carl Steinbeck is absolutely incensed by the slow-moving wheels of this particular justice road to full justice, but they have a plan and they're sticking to it. So Madeline says, get her in Aspen. Well, she's there it's not that hard to get somebody from a different state, right? But may as well get her while she's in Tallahassee, huh? Nick says this is 100% a 6-part Netflix documentary. Facts. Hey, thank you to all my beautiful moderators. Thank you, friends. Thank you, members. Thank you, new folk. Thank you, regulars. I appreciate you all very much. Thank you, Ms. What the Fuck, for doing everything that you do and we do together. Teamwork makes the dream work. I'm going to go and get myself ready, more ready, compose myself, toss, for our chat with Detective Donna. I'll just say now, we're not going to be asking too many questions of Detective Donna about like the case so much. We know a lot about the case from watching the trial. So we're going to delve a little more into the woman behind the detective. There is a portal. What is that? We have a thing about that. Wait. I scrolled too far. Basically, you need to make sure. What is it? You have to, Ms. What the Fuck? What is it?
It's on your screen right now.
There it is. To portal to the next stream, make sure you have autoplay switched on at the bottom of your window. So there is a portal set up, a redirect. There's a song there to listen to. Hit the like, start chatting, and we will be with you 20 minutes tops. We'll go out with Baby Shorty, Chatty's Bay, great AI. I love you all very much. I'll see you in a minute. Justice for Dan Markel, full justice.
I love you all so very much. We had a blast just chatting and stuff. Things may have gone bit off the rails. Professional when all else fails. 'Cause chat is babe, so much to say. Emotes and all the caps out. May have been cheese, bit faster please. The time has come, Camp Shorty out. We're skating through all the tough things, learning about this and that, defense motions, prosecution, and narcissistic twats. 'Cause chat is babe, so much to say. Emotes and all the all caps out. May have been cheese, bit faster please. The time has come, Camp Shorty out. Community, just you and me. Occasionally, Buster and Poppy. It's the whole thing. Miss Shorty swing. Together we make each other happy. 'Cause chat is babe, so much to say.